Hello, everybody. My name is Luca Fontaine, and today we will be discussing workplace security and tracking. We have recently been made aware of an issue at a nearby workplace where several coworkers have recently had personal belongings stolen from the workplace, and the company is planning to install high-resolution security cameras that use facial recognition technology to help identify the thieves and make the workplace feel more secure. The footage would stay on file as long as the company wishes to retain it, and it could be used to track various measures of employee attendance and performance. Would this be acceptable? Installing cameras like these raise a variety of ethical issues, including how the data is stored and what future uses it may hold. I will now be discussing these issues with three experts to learn more about this problem and how to move forward. Our first expert is Autumn Hill, who's an expert in data storing technologies. Autumn, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good. Now let's just jump right into the issue. In your opinion, do you believe that companies should have software that can track and monitor every employee's behavior?
Like stated in Blown to Bits, Cohen 6, the authors talk about how data is being stored and is merged with billions of bits worth of other data, and this information could easily be lost, stolen, or subpoenaed. I think since this footage would stay on file for as long as the company wishes, and there's not much information about who is analyzing this data and how secure this data is, this is probably not a very privacy safe option for the employees of this company.
That makes a lot of sense. Not having the security behind all those video files can definitely get into the wrong hands and be used for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Moving on, what solution would you recommend that this company implemented?
Well, I think that since employees' food and other items are being stolen, that there should definitely be cameras in the workplace. But in order to maintain some privacy within the space, I think that there should not be any facial tracking. The cameras really should only allow for a human to be able to review in order to find the thief.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because we only want humans to review this footage. That way we can ensure that the AI isn't running without human supervision and making the wrong calls. Moving forward, would you feel comfortable working in an environment where facial tracking cameras can be accessed and used to track your workplace behaviors?
Personally, I would not feel comfortable working in this environment, given the information I know about data storage and how this information, once it's out, will never again be private. With information like facial tracking, there's so many opportunities for mischief and catastrophic accidental data loss, which could lead to some bad events.
That is very true. Thank you, Autumn, for your time and all your wisdom. I'll now be speaking with Matt, who is an activist for privacy security.
Matt. Hey, Luca, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
So let's just jump right into this. What are the negatives that come with data invasion?
With data invasion, we actively take away the power of consumer rights on the internet and give it to larger companies and the government. This actively removes a lot of our personal freedoms and rights that we usually would enjoy in our regular lives. With this being said, it also, without having any sort of consumer privacy laws, we also run into issues where many users are vulnerable on the internet and run into data leaks and all this other problems.
Yeah, for sure. So what would happen if a member of this company were to quit? Would the company be obligated to remove any information or videos based on that individual?
The company should remove the individual's data and information. There's no reason for them to keep their information for long periods of time, especially now that they're not in the company. With all this facial data recognition, this company, all this information on this person, including their facial features, maybe fingerprints or anything else, is stored there when they don't even need it. So I find it a little bit excessive.
Of course, because once that employee is gone, there's no need for the company to store any more of the data. Looking at this more broadly, is privacy lost more important than security gained?
I feel that privacy lost is much more important than security gained. A situation where you are a person, and I believe the internet is an extension of your individual. So with this being said, if you cannot keep the privacy that you have, the security you're gaining is sort of an infiltration of your own personal rights and beliefs.
I totally stand by that statement. Thank you for your time, Matt. Lastly, we will be speaking with Masha, who's an expert in privacy from the surveillance camera company, who will now provide us with her opinions.
Hello, Luca.
Hi, Masha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Let's get into this. So, what privacy do you believe coworkers lost in this situation?
Coworkers definitely lose the right of privacy in the workplace. So they will no longer be able to steal items or come in late or take extra long lunch breaks without consequences from the company. As well as that, in the book Blown to Bits, they mention an algorithmic transparency, which is a principle that we should know how computers are making decisions about us. And in the words of the Electronic Privacy Information Center, the public has a right to know the data processes that impact their lives so they can correct errors and contest decisions made by algorithms. So basically, it's important for the coworkers to know what the algorithm is tracking. So our company really tries to let people know what we use facial recognition technology for and to determine where a person is at what time and what they're doing. What the company chooses to do with this information is up to them, but our company provides the technology.
That is a very interesting point that you make there. So, clearly, the employees are now going to be much more secure and more looked after. But what does the company itself gain from this installation?
They gain the right to knowledge about their employees. It's important for a company, especially with COVID and virtual working. Sometimes a manager can be far away from the location of where most of their employees work, and they gain the right to know more about their employees and what's really happening. As well as that, the trade-off between privacy and security, their company will become a lot more secure, and they know which workers are the most efficient and best to keep. So this will increase productivity within their company and will help make an easier choice for them if there are budget cuts, because they can track their employees and see which are the best workers.
Well, you make a really strong case for that. Thank you very much for your time, Masha.
Of course.
So, as we can see, based on these interviews with our experts, people are still clearly divided over whether or not these surveillance measures should be implemented. Personally, I believe that these decisions should be made on a case-by-case basis as each company sees fit. But moving forward into the future, we'll have to see what companies eventually end up doing. Thank you very much for watching our presentation, and I hope everyone has a great day.